Also, when you said I hadn't read this book, I actually haven't read any book. Reading is like eating Brussels sprouts for me, and talking is like getting the Giorgio Baldi corn ravioli.
That was Kanye West, who now goes simply as Ye, admitting that he is not a fan of reading. He has never read a book. I don't know if we should take that literally. I'm just gonna take his word for it, take it at face value. Now, he rationalized his distaste for reading by saying that other geniuses he knows also do not read text messages. Watch.
Mike Howe, that invented the ripsaw with his brother Jeff Howe, was saying that when his mom texts him like long paragraphs, he reads the first sentence and the last sentence. This person and his brother invented the fastest track vehicle. They put it in G.I. Joe. They have government contracts. This guy is a full-on engineer, works with all geniuses, and for practical, not opinionated, practical technologies. And he only reads the first sentence and the last. And what do you think my response was? Same.
Great, so he's talking about Mike Howe, who is the creator of a military vehicle known as the Ripsaw. I'm gonna let you jump in, Cenk. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I'm sorry, Yi is an idiot. Look, the reason why this gets under my skin is not because, hey, we found the one idiot in the country. There's tons and tons of them, right? It's because people will not admit things that are super duper obvious. Do we still got people calling him a genius? He's never read a book. He's never read one book. Look, you got a learning disability. God bless your heart. I love you, and you find other ways to get educated. Does it look like he found other ways to get educated? No. So I'm not gonna get gaslit. From here to eternity, I was always right. Kanye is one of the dumbest people in entertainment. And people who go around saying, no, but I like one of his songs. I like a bunch of his songs. That doesn't mean he's a genius. He runs a school now. He set up a school and he doesn't believe in reading. Okay, that interview, that explanation he had about, I know this really smart guy, he was in G.I. Joe, and he doesn't read either. Yeah, if you say so. It reminds me of the people who are like, yeah, I read this book, The 4-Hour Work Week. You guys are working for no reason. You can really do it in 4 hours. Can you?
It's amazing to me how much Kanye West gets under your skin. Like he might get under your skin more than any other public figure in the country. And I get why, because of the gaslighting and the people who respond to your criticisms with, but he's a genius. And I understand why that's off-putting, and I hate being gaslit as well. But I think, look, to be fair, I think that people can be geniuses in specific areas, specific fields, right? So I don't think you necessarily have to be like a voracious reader to be a genius. There are people who are super talented and skilled in one area. And in this case, even though I liked his earlier stuff a lot more, Kanye West and his music is where he excels, right? So I think that's what people are referring to when they talk about his genius. Aside from that, I do think that he has some potential mental health issues. We've talked about that before. It was really pronounced following the death of his mother. And his mother's name comes up a lot in his life and his endeavors. So for instance, you mentioned the school that he just started. It's an academy, a private Christian academy that he actually named after his mom, Donda. It's known as the Donda Academy. And it costs $15,000 a year to send your kids there. And it's pretty bizarre. So let me read to you what this academy is about. 2 sources close to current Donda students claim those associated with the school were asked to sign confidentiality agreements, while a 3rd source said they were not permitted to discuss the school. West is no stranger to doling out NDAs, which is a little bit of a red flag if you ask me, reportedly making guests at his Sunday services sign them. And his Yeezy brand is suing a former intern for allegedly breaching an NDA by posting confidential pictures on Instagram. And there's not much public information about the school, but we do know this. The Academy's website merely notes that students' daily schedule includes full school worship. I don't know what that means, but okay. Core classes of language arts, math, and science, lunch and recess, enrichment courses, including World League, visual art, film, choir, and the most important, parkour. Hardcore parkour.
Yeah, you ought to have your head examined if you're sending someone to a school where the guy who founded the school proudly declares he's never read a book, and you don't have to read a book. You don't have to read it. You just read the first sentence and last sentence. Why don't you just say, I'm lazy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to all the stuff in the middle. I don't need this stuff in the middle. I just need, generalities. Guys, look, here's the thing. So is Anna right that you could be a genius in some things and not in others? Of course, right? And I've talked about this about my life a lot, especially on the podcast we do called Old School, where I'm an idiot on some things. I mean, you ask me to pack a trunk and you'll think I'm, boy, that guy needs help in life, right? So I'm not good with spatial reasoning, but I'm pretty good at verbal reasoning and logical reasoning. But like, I don't go around claiming I'm a genius at packing trunks. Like, I don't do that, right? And so in fact, I do the opposite. I just told you I'm honest about it, right? But Kanye doesn't say he's a genius in only music.
Yeah,
Kanye thinks he's a genius at everything. And a lot of his supporters, if they say, and I think JR says this, look, man, I think some of the music is genius, okay? And by the way, I don't know if Baryshnikov reads books, but he's a genius at dancing. If you mean it that way, God bless, no problem. But tons and tons of people then turn around and go, no, Cenk, you should take his ideas seriously. No, 0% chance. Now, the minute you say you should take Ye's ideas seriously, you've lost all credibility. I mean, remember, this guy's an idiot Trump supporter who's like, oh yeah, I think Trump's the best for black people in this country. And I think you should just follow my religion, my interpretation, your interpretation, Ye's interpretation of religion. Come on, guys. Now, the minute the whole country says, no, Cenk is absolutely right, that Kanye is a complete blithering idiot on all things that are not music, then I'm gonna totally let up on the guy. Let's get him some help, therapy, etc. But until he's going around setting up schools where he's bragging about that he's teaching them parkour. No.
I mean, parkour is pretty dope, but I hear you. Especially since it's not an accredited school. That's an important fact to mention here in case you might be thinking about sending your children there for $15,000 a year. Not accredited, and the ostensible head of the school listed on its website is Principal and Executive Director Brianne Campbell, who also leads the school's choir program, but Campbell has never held a formal position as an educator. According to her resume, Campbell's closest brush with a teaching position appears to be running her own piano, guitar, and singing tutoring business headquartered from her apartment. And what's fascinating is Kanye seems to be pretty salty with his ex, Kim Kardashian, because she doesn't want to send her kids there. They're currently going to a private school in LA that is accredited, which I think is probably the best choice if you can afford it, right? Not sending them to an unaccredited school that doesn't have trained teachers or accredited teachers. But nonetheless, he keeps sharing personal messages that he exchanges with her, including this one. Idea: kids 2 days at Donda and 3 days at Sierra Canyon, or 3 days at Donda and 2 days at Sierra Canyon, including field trips, busing to educational places. It doesn't seem like she's buying it, which seems like she seems to have the best judgment here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've never agreed with Kim Kardashian more than I do right now.
Yeah.
Here's a compromise: 0 days at Donda. And why are you putting out private messages between you and your ex-wife about your kids in the public arena? Because you have no control at all. No, I can't stand it. Malik Yusuf is described as a producer and West's collaborator on forming the school's concept. He says, quote, I don't think Kanye needs to tell the world what he's doing so that he can be under more scrutiny. Yeah, when you're running a school that kids go to, you have to tell people what happens at the school. You can't be like, authorities, don't look at what we're doing in the school with the kids. No, hey, Kanye doesn't need more scrutiny. Okay, then don't run a school. I mean, we're not asking you about your private life. I couldn't care. I've never cared less about anything in my life. We're asking you, what are you doing at the school with the kids? That is a very legitimate question to ask. I have no tolerance for Kanye, none.
So Cenk, just because I'm in the mood to watch your head explode, let's end with the final video here where the podcast host has some interesting flattery for Kanye West.
Sometimes it's not that I'm not right. Wait for it, watch it, I got a good one, here we go. Sometimes I'm just not right now. It's not right now. It's not that you're not right. It's just not right now. So
you're too ahead of us. Okay? You're too ahead of us.
I'm just gonna go to Cenk. I'll let him have the final word on this. Too ahead of us.
Yeah, no, but look, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, people get on me for saying things that are obviously true, and they know are obviously true. But that guy kissing his ass is okay. Oh my God, a sentence that makes no sense at all. You're too far ahead of us. Oh golly gee, I hope we catch up to you one day.
Okay, all right.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I can catch up to him if I learn parkour.
Parkour. Every time I hear parkour, I think of The Office. It's excellent. Anyway, by the way, so I've watched videos on YouTube because Christian forced me to, of like, I don't know if they're professional parkour people. I don't know if they get paid for it or actually like do competition. So apologies if that actually exists and people feel offended or insulted that I don't know too much about it. But no, those videos are insane, and I don't recommend trying it. Like I don't know how people do it. It's crazy. Like the human body is amazing. It is a wonderland. Okay, there's a song about it. Anyway,
so it must be true. Okay, if there's a song about it. All right, look, parkour. I totally agree. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing, athletic, etc. So in fact, I showed, or Wendy did actually, showed Pro a video, not of parkour, but of people doing hardcore skating. And this was a bunch of years ago. I don't remember, it was 3 years ago or 5 years ago. And I was like, are you sure you should show him that? Because what if he gets into it, right? And she's like, no, I know my son. So she shows him the video. Pro looks at it and goes, no. Because she showed people falling off the skateboard and hurting themselves. From time to time, they get back up and they do amazing tricks. He's like, not interested in the amazing tricks, interested in the getting hurt part. Not for me, it's for other people. I was like, yeah, all right, attaboy.
He's your son. Smart. Yeah. Smart.
Well,
thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.